Stop doubting yourself. Watch this. They told you to believe in yourself, but no one told you how loud doubt can be. That voice in your head, the one that says you're not ready, you're not enough, what if that voice is lying? In the next few minutes, you'll discover the truth about self-doubt and why the only thing standing between you and your future is the story you keep telling yourself. Watch this and everything might change. 1. Self-doubt is the silent dream killer. Have you ever had a dream so big, so exciting, that it made your heart beat faster? A dream to build something, a dream to change your life, a dream to become someone greater than who you are today. But then something happened. A voice appeared in your mind. It whispered quietly, maybe you're not good enough, maybe you'll fail, maybe this dream is too big for you. And slowly, that dream began to fade, not because you lacked talent, not because you lacked opportunity, but because you started doubting yourself. And that is the tragedy of millions of lives. Not broken dreams because of failure, but dreams killed by self-doubt before they even began. Part 1. The most dangerous enemy. Most people think their biggest enemy is failure, but failure is not the real enemy. Failure teaches you. Failure strengthens you. Failure prepares you. The real enemy is self-doubt. Self-doubt is silent. It doesn't shout. It whispers. It whispers when you want to start a business. It whispers when you want to follow your passion. It whispers when you want to try something new. It says you're not ready, you're not smart enough, you're not talented enough. And the worst part, many people believe it. Dreams don't die loudly. Dreams rarely die in dramatic moments. They die quietly. A person once dreamed of becoming a writer, but they never wrote the first page. Someone dreamed of starting a company, but they never made the first call. Someone dreamed of changing their life, but they never took the first step, not because they couldn't, but because a small voice in their mind convinced them they shouldn't. Self-doubt doesn't destroy dreams with explosions. It destroys them with hesitation, with procrastination, with fear disguised as logic. Talent is not the problem. Look around the world. There are talented people everywhere, people with brilliant ideas, creative minds, powerful potential. Yet many of them remain stuck in the same place year after year. Why? Because talent alone is not enough. Confidence matters. Belief matters. The difference between someone who succeeds and someone who stays stuck is often not talent. It is belief. The person who wins is often the one who simply believed long enough to keep going. The voice inside your mind is powerful. It can build your future, or it can destroy it. Inside your mind, there are two voices. One voice says, you can do this. You are capable. Keep going. The other voice says, you will fail. You're not ready. You're not good enough. Every day, these voices fight for control. And whichever voice you listen to the most becomes your reality. If you feed the voice of doubt, your world becomes smaller. If you feed the voice of courage, your world becomes bigger. The tragedy of untapped potential. The world is full of untapped greatness. Books that were never written, businesses that were never built, ideas that were never shared, lives that were never fully lived, not because people lacked ability, but because they lacked belief. Imagine how many inventions never happened because someone thought they weren't smart enough. Imagine how many artists never created because they thought nobody would care. Imagine how many leaders never stepped forward because they thought they weren't ready. Self-doubt has stolen more dreams than failure ever will. Confidence comes from action. Many people believe confidence comes first. They think, once I feel confident, then I'll start. But that's not how life works. Confidence does not come before action. Confidence comes because of action. You gain confidence by trying, by failing, by learning, by trying again. Every small step you take weakens the voice of doubt. Every action you take proves something powerful to your mind. You are capable. The courage to start the hardest moment is always the beginning. The first step feels terrifying. The first attempt feels uncomfortable. The first risk feels huge, but once you start, something incredible happens. Momentum appears, progress begins, and slowly the voice of doubt gets quieter, not because it disappeared, but because your courage became louder. Your mind is not always right. Just because your mind says something does not mean it is true. Your mind can exaggerate fear. It can imagine failure that hasn't happened. It can create stories that limit you. The voice saying you can't is often just a voice trying to protect you from discomfort. But growth lives on the other side of discomfort. Success lives on the other side of fear. Believe before you see. Every great achievement started with belief. Before the world believed in them, they believed in themselves. Before anyone supported them, they supported their own dream. Before success appeared, they kept going through uncertainty. Belief is powerful because it keeps you moving when results are invisible. And most people quit exactly at that moment. They quit right before progress begins. The decision that changes everything. At some point in life, every person faces a choice. A simple but powerful decision. Will you listen to the voice of doubt? Or will you listen to the voice of possibility? One voice keeps you safe, but small. The other voice pushes you forward toward growth. Your dreams are not waiting for perfection. They are waiting for courage. So stop waiting for the perfect moment. Stop waiting for complete confidence. Stop letting self-doubt quietly destroy the life you could live. Because the truth is this: you are more capable than your fears suggest. Your potential is greater than your doubts. And the moment you decide to believe in yourself is the moment your life begins to change. 2. Your mind is lying to you. There is a voice in your head. You hear it every day. Sometimes it speaks when you are about to try something new. Sometimes it appears when you want to chase a dream. And it says things like, "You're not good enough. You're going to fail. People will judge you. Don't even try." The strange thing is, most people believe that voice. They think it's wisdom. They think it's reality. But what if I told you something powerful? Your mind is lying to you, not because it wants to destroy you, but because it wants to protect you from discomfort. And sometimes, that protection becomes the prison that keeps you from becoming who you are meant to be. The voice of fear. Fear is ancient. Thousands of years ago, fear protected humans from danger. It helped people survive wild animals, harsh environments, and real threats. But today, the same fear system inside your brain reacts to things that are not life-threatening. Starting a business, speaking in front of people, trying a new career, sharing your ideas. Your brain reacts as if these things are dangerous, so it sends you warnings. Don't do it. You might fail. You might embarrass yourself. But these warnings are often not truth. They are simply fear pretending to be logic. How the mind exaggerates failure. Your mind has a strange habit. It magnifies the worst-case scenario. Imagine you want to try something new. Maybe you want to start a project. Maybe you want to share your creativity. Maybe you want to change your life. Immediately, your mind begins creating disaster stories. What if I fail? What if people laugh at me? What if it doesn't work? Your brain starts showing you a movie of failure that has not even happened yet. But here is the truth. Your mind is excellent at imagining failure, but terrible at predicting success. It shows you the risk, but it rarely shows you the possibility. Negative thoughts are not facts just because you think something does not make it true. This is one of the most powerful lessons you can learn. A thought is not a fact. A thought is just a mental event. Yet many people treat every negative thought as absolute truth. They think, if I feel insecure, it must mean I'm not capable. If I feel afraid, it must mean I shouldn't try. But feelings are not always accurate. Fear does not mean stop. Sometimes fear simply means you are stepping outside your comfort zone. And growth always lives there. The brain's survival trick. Your brain is designed for survival, not success. It prefers safety. It prefers familiarity. It prefers routine. So whenever you try to do something bold, something new, something uncertain, your brain tries to pull you back. It says, stay where you are. This is safer. This is comfortable. But comfort zones are dangerous places for dreams. Nothing grows there. No transformation happens there. No extraordinary life begins there. The illusion of not good enough. One of the biggest lies the mind tells is this: you are not good enough. This lie stops millions of people every single day. A person wants to start a business but thinks they are not smart enough. Someone wants to share their talent but thinks they are not talented enough. Someone wants to pursue their passion but believes they are not worthy enough. But here's the hidden truth. Even the people you admire the most once felt exactly the same way. Confidence is not something people are born with. Confidence is something people build, and they build it by doing the thing they are afraid to do. Question the voice of doubt the next time your mind says, "You can't do this." Pause and ask a powerful question. Is that actually true? Most of the time it is. Your mind might say, "You will fail." But failure is not the end. Failure is information. Failure is feedback. Failure is often the path to mastery. So instead of blindly believing your doubts, start challenging them. Interrogate them. Expose them. Because many of them collapse the moment you question them. Your potential is invisible. Here is another reason the mind lies. Your potential is invisible. You cannot see it yet. You cannot measure it yet. You cannot fully understand it yet. But it exists. Inside every person is a version of themselves that is stronger, wiser, and more capable. The problem is, most people never meet that version of themselves, not because it doesn't exist, but because they believe the lie that they couldn't become it. Action reveals the truth. Thinking will not destroy doubt. Action will. The moment you start moving, the moment you start trying, the moment you take the first step, something powerful happens. You begin collecting evidence. Evidence that you can improve. Evidence that you can learn. Evidence that you can grow. Every action weakens the lies in your mind. Every step forward proves the voice of doubt wrong. The battle inside your mind life is not just a battle in the outside world. It is a battle inside your mind. One voice says, "Stay safe." The other voice says, "Take the chance." One voice says, "You're not ready." The other voice says, "You'll figure it out." Your future will be shaped by which voice you choose to follow. Your mind is powerful, but it is not always honest. Sometimes it lies. Sometimes it exaggerates danger. Sometimes it hides your potential. And if you believe every negative thought that appears in your mind, you will build a life that is far smaller than the one you are capable of living. So the next time your mind says, "You can't," pause, look that thought in the face, and say, "Maybe you're wrong," because the truth is, you are stronger than your fears. You are greater than your doubts. And the moment you stop believing every lie your mind tells you is the moment you start discovering what you are truly capable of becoming. 3. Every successful person once felt the same fear. Look at the most successful people in the world. The leaders. The innovators, the creators. The people who built something extraordinary. From the outside, they seem fearless, confident, certain, unstoppable. But here is the truth most people never see. Before the success, before the recognition, before the victories, they were afraid. They doubted themselves. They questioned their abilities. They wondered if they were good enough, just like you. Because the truth is simple but powerful. Every successful person once felt the same fear you feel today. Success always begins with uncertainty. No one begins their journey with absolute certainty. Every dream begins in the same place, a place of questions. What if this doesn't work? What if I fail? What if people judge me? When someone starts a business, they are unsure. When someone writes their first book, they are unsure. When someone decides to change their life, they are unsure. Uncertainty is not a sign that you shouldn't begin. It is a sign that you are stepping into something new. And every meaningful journey begins there. The myth of natural confidence. Many people believe confidence is something you are born with. They think successful people are simply different. They imagine that confident individuals never felt fear, but that is a myth. Confidence is not a personality trait. Confidence is a skill. And like every skill, it is built through experience. It is built through effort. It is built through moments when things go wrong. No one is born confident. People become confident through action. The first step is always the hardest. Think about the first time you tried anything important in your life. Your first presentation. Your first attempt at something difficult. Your first time stepping outside your comfort zone. You probably felt nervous. Your heart beat faster. Your mind filled with doubts, but you still did it. And after that first experience, something changed. The fear didn't disappear completely, but it became smaller, because courage grows every time you move forward despite fear. Mistakes are the training ground. One thing every successful person has in common is this: they made mistakes, many mistakes. More mistakes than most people ever see. But here is the difference. They didn't treat mistakes as proof that they were not good enough. They treated mistakes as lessons. Each failure became information. Each setback became training. Each problem became preparation for the next level. Mistakes are not the opposite of success. They are part of the process that leads to it. Persistence creates confidence. Confidence is not built in a single moment. It grows slowly. It grows through repetition, through persistence, through showing up again and again, even when things feel difficult. At first, everything feels uncertain. But with time and effort, something powerful happens. Your skills improve, your understanding grows, your belief strengthens. And slowly, the person who once doubted themselves begins to realize something important. I can do this. The fear never completely disappears. Here is something surprising. Even highly successful people still feel fear sometimes. Starting a new project can feel scary. Taking a big risk can feel uncomfortable. Entering unfamiliar territory can create doubt. But successful people do something different. They do not wait for fear to disappear. They move forward with fear beside them. They understand that courage is not the absence of fear. Courage is the decision to move forward despite fear. The growth that happens along the way. Success is not only about reaching a goal. It is about the person you become during the journey. When you face challenges, you become stronger. When you solve problems, you become smarter. When you continue despite setbacks, you become more resilient. And over time, you realize something incredible. The person who started the journey is not the same person who continues it. You evolve. You grow. You become capable of things you once believed were impossible. The power of starting before you feel ready. Many people wait for the perfect moment to begin. They wait until they feel completely prepared, completely confident, completely certain. But that moment rarely arrives. The truth is that most successful people started before they felt ready. They started while they were still learning. They started while they were still uncertain. They trusted that they would figure things out along the way. And that decision, to start imperfectly, changed everything. Your fear is not unique. Sometimes people feel alone in their fear. They think, maybe I'm the only one who feels this way. But that is not true. The fear you feel today has been felt by millions of people before you. The doubt you experience has been experienced by people who later achieved incredible things. The uncertainty you face is simply part of the human journey toward growth. You are not behind. You are not incapable. You are simply at the beginning of the process. The choice that creates success. Every person who achieves something meaningful faces the same decision. A decision between two voices. One voice says, wait until you're ready, play it safe, avoid the risk. The other voice says, try, learn, grow. The people who succeed are not the ones who never felt fear. They are the ones who refuse to let fear stop them. So if you feel uncertain, if you feel nervous, if you feel afraid of failing, remember this powerful truth. Every successful person once stood exactly where you stand today, with the same fear, with the same doubts, with the same questions. And the only difference between them and everyone else is that they chose to move forward anyway. 5. Action destroys doubt. There is a moment that changes everything. A moment when you stop thinking, stop overanalyzing, stop waiting, and you finally take action. Because the truth is this: doubt lives in the mind. It grows when you sit still. It grows when you hesitate. It grows when you wait for the perfect moment. But the moment you move, the moment you take even the smallest step forward, something powerful happens. Action begins to destroy doubt. The trap of overthinking: many people believe they must feel confident before they start. They say things like, "I'll start when I feel ready. I just need more confidence first. I need the perfect plan." But here is the problem: confidence rarely comes before action. Instead, people get trapped in endless thinking. They analyze every possible outcome. They imagine every possible mistake. They replay every fear inside their minds. And while they are thinking, their dreams remain frozen in place. Overthinking feeds doubt. Action starves it. Doubt grows in stillness. Imagine standing at the edge of a cold swimming pool. The longer you stand there thinking about the cold water, the worse it feels. Your mind begins to create excuses. Maybe tomorrow, maybe later, maybe it's too cold today. But the moment you jump in, the fear disappears. Why? Because action replaces imagination with reality. The same principle applies to life. The longer you wait to begin something, the bigger the fear becomes. Small steps change everything. Many people believe action must be huge. They think success begins with a massive breakthrough. But in reality, most progress begins with small steps: writing one page, making one phone call, learning one new skill, trying one small experiment. These small actions may seem insignificant, but they create momentum. And momentum is powerful, because once movement begins, doubt begins to weaken. Confidence is built, not given. Confidence is not a gift some people are born with. Confidence is built through experience. Every time you try something new, you collect evidence. Evidence that you can learn, evidence that you can adapt, evidence that you can improve. At first, you may feel uncertain, but each action strengthens your belief in yourself. Slowly, the voice inside your mind begins to change. Instead of saying, "I can't do this," it begins to say, "Maybe I can." Mistakes are proof of movement. Many people avoid action because they fear mistakes. They believe mistakes mean failure, but mistakes are not proof that you are incapable. Mistakes are proof that you are moving forward. Think about learning to walk as a child. You fell many times. You stumbled, you lost balance, but no one looked at those falls and said, "This child will never learn to walk." Those falls were simply part of the process. And the same is true for every goal in life. Progress always includes mistakes. Waiting for perfect confidence is a trap. One of the biggest lies people believe is this: "I will start when I feel confident." But confidence does not arrive first. It arrives after effort. It arrives after practice. It arrives after experience. If you wait until you feel completely confident before beginning, you might wait forever. Because confidence is the result of action, not the requirement for it. Action creates momentum. Something magical happens when you take the first step. Momentum begins, and momentum changes everything. The first step may feel difficult, but the second step feels easier. The third step feels natural. Soon, what once seemed impossible begins to feel achievable. Momentum builds belief. Belief builds confidence. Confidence builds progress, and all of it begins with action. The courage to begin imperfectly. Perfection is another trap. Many people delay their dreams because they want everything to be perfect. The perfect plan, the perfect timing, the perfect conditions, but perfection rarely exists. Most successful people began their journeys imperfectly. Their first attempts were messy. Their early work was flawed. Their progress was slow, but they kept moving, and movement eventually leads to mastery. The life waiting on the other side, think about the life you could build if you stopped waiting, if you stopped listening to every doubt. If you simply took the first step, a new opportunity might appear, a new skill might develop, a new version of yourself might emerge. The future you dream about is not created by thinking alone. It is created by consistent action. Doubt will always try to stop you. It will whisper that you are not ready. It will tell you to wait. It will suggest that the risk is too great. But doubt only has power when you remain still. The moment you move, the moment you act, the moment you begin, its power begins to fade. So don't wait for perfect confidence. Don't wait for perfect certainty. Take the smallest step you can today, because the truth is simple and powerful. Action destroys doubt. And the moment you start moving is the moment your life begins to change. 5. You are more capable than you think. Most people underestimate themselves. They look at their life, their situation, their struggles, and quietly decide something dangerous. They decide that this is their limit. They convince themselves that greatness belongs to other people. Other people are smarter. Other people are stronger. Other people are more talented. But the truth is something very different. The truth is this: you are far more capable than you think. And the only thing standing between you and your potential is the belief that you don't have it. The hidden power inside you, inside every person, is hidden strength. Strength that only appears during challenge. Strength that only awakens when life becomes difficult. You may not see it yet. You may not fully believe it yet. But your mind, your abilities, your resilience are far more powerful than you realize. Think about the challenges you have already survived, the moments when life felt overwhelming, the days when everything seemed uncertain, and yet you are still here. That alone is proof of your strength. Potential is invisible. One of the biggest reasons people doubt themselves is because potential cannot be seen immediately. When you start something new, you don't yet know what you're capable of. A musician doesn't know their future when they first touch an instrument. An athlete doesn't know their limits when they begin training. A creator doesn't know their impact when they start creating. Potential reveals itself through effort. It reveals itself through persistence. It reveals itself through action. Waiting is the enemy of growth. Many people are waiting. Waiting for the perfect moment, waiting for confidence, waiting for someone to believe in them first. But life rarely rewards waiting. Opportunity appears when you move. Growth begins when you start. Progress happens when you take action. Every day spent waiting is a day your potential remains hidden. Trust yourself. One of the most powerful decisions you can make in life is simple. Trust yourself. Trust that you can learn. Trust that you can adapt. Trust that you can figure things out. No one begins their journey knowing everything. Every expert was once a beginner. Every successful person once stood at the starting line, unsure of what would happen next, but they trusted themselves enough to try. Strength is built through struggle. Great strength is never created in comfort. It is created in challenge. It is built in moments when things feel difficult. When you face obstacles, when you encounter setbacks, when the path becomes uncertain, you are not being defeated. You are being developed. Your resilience is growing. Your character is forming. Your abilities are expanding. And with every challenge you overcome, you become stronger than you were before. The version of you that exists in the future, imagine the version of yourself 5 years from now. A stronger version, a wiser version, a more confident version. That person exists, but they can only appear if you begin moving today. The future you is built by the decisions you make now. Every step forward shapes the person you are becoming. Stop comparing your journey One of the fastest ways to destroy belief in yourself is comparison. Looking at others and thinking they are ahead, thinking they are better, thinking they are more capable. But every journey is different. Every path unfolds at its own pace. Your only real competition is the person you were yesterday. If you improve even a little each day, you are moving in the right direction. The courage to begin the truth is simple. Your potential will never reveal itself if you stay still. It reveals itself when you try, when you take risks, when you step into the unknown. Yes, the first step may feel uncomfortable. Yes, the journey may be uncertain. But every great story begins with someone brave enough to start. Your life is waiting right now. There is a life waiting for you. A life filled with growth. A life filled with discovery. A life filled with achievements you cannot yet imagine. But that life requires one thing from you: movement, not perfection, not certainty, just the courage to begin. You may not see all your abilities yet. You may not fully understand your potential, but that doesn't mean it isn't there. Inside you is strength you haven't tested, ideas you haven't explored, dreams you haven't fully pursued. The world does not need a perfect version of you. It needs the version of you that is brave enough to try. So stop waiting, stop doubting, stop holding back, trust yourself, take the first step, move forward toward your goals today. Because the truth that will change everything is this: you are more capable than you think. And the moment you start believing that is the moment your life begins to transform. Before this video ends, remember one powerful truth: self-doubt has stopped more dreams than failure ever will. Not because people lack talent, but because they chose to believe the wrong voice. So from this moment on, when doubt speaks, don't obey it. Question it. Take that step anyway. Start before you feel ready. Move even if it's small. Because your future is not built on perfect confidence, it's built on courageous action. You are capable. You are ready. And your life will change the moment you decide to believe it.